Hey everyone, it is your girl Kiki, and I am back with another video. So tonight I want to do Two Can Play That Game, cause two can play that game. Although I love you for sure, I just want you to know you can go do your thing, cause two can play that game. Hey, y'all don't give me too much on my singing now. Okay, let's go ahead and take a deep dive. Two Can Play That Game is a 2001 film directed by Mark Brown. First, I want to acknowledge how good of a friend Shante was. Shante, played by Vivica A. Fox. She was there for her friends, and although they had different dynamics of relationships than her, she gave them advice, but she also still loved on them. Now, I honestly feel that her friend Tracy, played by Tamala Jones, had no business being involved with that lying, cheat, and loser of a man she was with. But hey, I get it. We've all played the fool before. Shantae's other close friend, Karen, played by Wendy Raquel, to me, I felt she was a bit desperate. Now, I don't know. Y'all might drag me for this. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion of mine. But okay, think about it. Here it is, Karen, a beautiful, young, intelligent woman, going to get her car serviced. And she falls for the mechanic that's, servicing her car. Michael, played by Bobby Brown. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me just say this. I love me some Bobby. And he was funny as hell in this role. But this man had a raggedy Jerry curl with crooked, busted up teeth. I mean, she decided to not only give him a chance, but spin a bag on this man's teeth and get them fixed. Nah, I don't believe in a woman taking on a man as a project. I just feel like that's a no-no and a recipe for disaster. There's nothing wrong with being with the man and teaching him like a little style or whatever, teaching him a few things about his appearance, but actually spending money to get his teeth fixed. I mean, let's be real. We all know how expensive dental care can be. And that's just a no-no. I just don't think that's a good idea. She shouldn't have taken him back when he proposed. She could have done way better. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. And I just feel like there was some desperation there. She was successful, like I said, beautiful, had a lot going for herself, full of life or whatever. And I just honestly feel that her getting with him was just a desperate move. The last friend of the group, Deidre, played by Monique, her man was just dusty. I mean, let's just call it what it is. She wasn't delusional though. She admitted that, he had no job and he had a mouthful of gold teeth. Seems like the best thing he did was give her good sex, which isn't enough. But hey, I also feel she could have done better. I mean, at the very least, he could have at least had a job because she was also young, beautiful, and full of life. Okay, now I want to talk about the dynamic of Shante, played by Vivica A. Fox, and Keith, played by Morris Chestnut's relationship. My observation is that overall they had a great dynamic. She respected and valued him, and he did the same. They both had very successful careers as attorneys and both attractive people. To me, it was obvious the love and care they had for one another was there, and it came off as a pretty healthy relationship. One issue I feel Shante had is putting Keith on such a pedestal to where it completely shocked her and threw her through a loop when he messed up. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a good man, naturally you may be surprised by them hurting you. But I always say never say or think your man won't hurt you because you just never know. We are all human, and the only one I trust in that to that extent is God. The only one we should be putting on a pedestal is God. Yes, you should trust them, but trust them while also knowing nothing is impossible when in a relationship because we're all imperfect humans. Now, am I saying just take it? No, but I mean, just know that it can happen. I wish Shante would have been more vulnerable and open with her friends, but she was so used to having it all together and being the one they came to for help. Keith, now he know he was dead wrong for not only taking your attractive coworker out dancing, but to her favorite spot, to Shantae's favorite spot, where you know she could possibly be. Like, come on. That was very bold of him. Working late is understandable, especially, he's an attorney. So, okay, that's understandable. But then instead of you going to see your woman, Shantae, you decide to hang out with another woman that you're 100% attracted to. Like, that's a no-no. I do think it was a good idea for Shante to break up with Keith because that was unacceptable and disrespectful. However, I feel where she messed up is wanting to go by all these rules in order to get her man back. And you wanted to get him back and have him act right. The only thing that can make a man act right is him wanting to. She could have definitely made him prove himself before taking him back, but she just did too much. Then Keith's friend Tony, played by Anthony Anderson, he had his own set of rules he was telling Keith to go by, which honestly didn't help. Keith was wrong, so he had no reason to be trying to play any rule games with her. When Keith took Connie, played by Gabrielle Union, to the work party, knowing Shantae didn't care for her and knowing Connie wanted him, he clearly wanted to make Shantae jealous. And it worked. Shantae shouldn't have confronted Connie about Keith because clearly you knew what kind of woman Connie was, and you shouldn't be confronting a woman anyway. He has loyalty to you, not the other woman. Regardless of how you may feel about it, that's just what it is. And technically, he wasn't her man anyway at that moment because Shantae broke up with him. They both should have sat down, had a long, in-depth conversation, and made a decision to either be together and work things out or not. I don't think there's anything wrong with giving the cold shoulder to a man either, especially because he was out of line. But playing games isn't the way if you want to get your man back, because men will move on and sometimes very quickly. I think the last straw for Keith was when she told him she'd be leaving the party with the white guy and that condom fell out of her purse. Yeah, it was wrong for him taking his coworker out to the club, but once you insinuated that you're going to be sleeping with someone else, of course you're letting a man know that you're no longer his, and he will let you go, even if it hurts. She knew she wanted him back, so she shouldn't have taken it that far. Now, if you didn't want him back, that would have been a completely different thing. To be honest, at this point in my life, I probably wouldn't have wanted him back. But hey, that's just me. I mean, Keith was fine. I don't know. I was glad that in the end, she put her ego to the side and got her man back. But Keith was sitting there with an attitude like, boy, calm down, because had you not been out with that other woman, none of this would have even happened. The last thing I want to say is, her friends, specifically Karen. Karen put too much faith in her, knowing it all. Like, I feel like Karen just put Shantae on this high pedestal. And she always expected her to just know it all when it comes to relationships. It's good to have a friend that you can go to for good, sound advice, but don't ever put them on a pedestal because, as you can see, we all have downfalls in relationships. Have your own thoughts, mind, and point of views, and most importantly, consult God. Self-love will also steer you into the best decisions to make regarding your relationships. And, no one knows it all. We all have to learn. So while I think it's a good idea and it's great to have friends that can, steer you in the right direction when it comes to relationships, I still think, it's dangerous to put anyone on a high pedestal. So that is my views for this. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments about this classic. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I thank you for everyone that is commenting, that's liking, and that's just viewing and subscribing to my channel. And until next time, bye.